I'll put this on top first. Yes, people, we are back. It is Friday night. There is Premier League football back again this weekend. Some really big games. Manchester City taking on Arsenal. Liverpool are in the derby. Chelsea versus United. It is all going off. Where it should be towards the top of the table. Can't speak for everybody, but there are some really important games. And I have got an absolute belter panel tonight. Full panel with the lads. So we are going to absolutely chop it up for the next hour. Boys, how are we? We all good?
Great.
You guys can take yourself off mute now.
May as well stay on mute. We're going to get absolutely killed as a club here, so may as well stay on fucking mute.
Well, we're going to start with United tonight, to be fair. We are actually going to start with Manchester United. And I've titled the show, Is It an Inevitable Season Already? And again, it doesn't take a genius to kind of figure out where I'm going with this. And my first question to the United... Well,
because you said it doesn't take a genius to know where you're going with this, but I am a genius, so I know where you're going with this. What, Arsenal winning the league?
Well, we'll find that out as well, hopefully, before the end of the show.
It's a start already.
Yeah, so yeah, stay tuned, stay locked, let people know. But no, we're going to start with United first, and then obviously the elephant in the room. In terms of inevitable, is Ruben Amorim playing on borrowed time? And I will open the floor to the United lads first. Yes, no, maybe, sitting on the fence, or have you got strong feelings about his future prospects as Manchester United manager?
I literally, my worry is I don't think he is on borrowed time. We've seen the reports this week, which makes my stomach just churn. That Sir Jim, in one aspect, is saying this squad can get Champions League football. But in another aspect, we've just been blitzed by Manchester City. And when I say blitzed, they didn't get out of second gear. They literally just chilled the entire game.
How's Foden scoring headers, by the way?
I'll tell you 2 words, Bruno Fernandes. And let's just say Bruno Fernandes, who, shouldn't be playing central midfield. I think anybody who watches football can agree with that. The second thing being that as the captain of the club, you get interviewed after the game, and what do you do instead of standing there and taking it for the team and being the guy that everyone wants to get behind? You go, well, it wasn't me, it was Lenny Yoro. It was Lenny. I looked, and then Lenny put, and I think you absolute clown. So I think, look, we're not idiots. We know that Manchester United got big problems. However, I just keep hearing one word that keeps terrifying me, that this manager's just going to stay and stay and stay, and that's stats. I keep hearing this constant. The stats are looking good. The XG's looking good. And it's just like, bro, stats mean nothing. You've got to put the ball in the back of the net. We spent all this money to be able to do so. It's going biblically wrong here. It's going biblically. Now, we got Chelsea at the weekend, and ridiculously, because it's Chelsea, I'm actually not bothered. I think we could beat Chelsea. I think Chelsea are just they're a false story in this Premier League as it is. But just make no mistake about it. Manchester United, whereas we thought we had problems last season, and we had the fantastic, rousing reception for Amorim against Aston Villa last game of the season. I apologise. Things are going to get better. And at the moment, on a stats board, we're looking great, but you have to do it in a game. And at the moment, I kind of feel like this guy doesn't know how to pick a football team. We've seen it for so long that we're putting square pegs in round holes. Bruno Fernandes is the biggest square peg you will see being pushed into a round hole. Now, we're meant to believe that this guy can be a deep lying playmaker. This guy is a 10. This guy is a 10. You can't shoehorn a player into a position just because there isn't a position now for him, because you've spent over 120 million on bringing 2 new players in. So in-house, I think it's a mess. Out-house, I think it's laughable. And I think it will go on.
Bro, I've got to a point with Man United where it's like I don't even get affected by rival fans. That's where I'm at. I swear.
Dan was literally just saying that off air as well.
Yeah, you were just saying that backstage.
I'm honestly, you could push me and I couldn't care less. We're shit. It's simple as that. Going back to what you said, it's like when you look at Ruben Amorim, the way he sets up Manchester United's outlet, every single time we have the ball is doggy.
Facts.
It's Patrick Dorgu. Why are we relying on a 20-year-old who is learning this trade and he's our main outlet? It makes no sense. We just spent 200 million on our front line, bro. These man can't even see the ball. I'm in a United group chat called United Therapy, and they're telling me Amorim's making Burmo and Cunha look like a bundle. Like it's this bad. I'm genuinely. We can't even get 2 wins on the bounce, bro. We haven't got double wins yet. Like Thomas Frank's done it. Every other manager's done it.
Oh,
like,
whoa! It gets better. It gets better. Thomas Frank is it 4 games away from equaling Amorim's record in the Premier League of wins? Guy's
That's
been there like
crazy.
3 weeks, 4 weeks. In the Premier. It's
That's crazy.
No, but remember, yeah, because you man was saying it, and you know, a lot of my fan base was saying it as well. You played better than Arsenal. You should have won at Old Trafford. Do you know what I mean?
Listen, man, them love doing this thing, innit?
We have to win.
Hold on, let me learn.
No. Chill. You've got to be careful though. Don't always take the bait from hooks, you know. That's his game. You've got to be wise to it.
You're gonna nibble, wouldn't you? You were gonna nibble.
No, one thing I'll say is just like in a bad result, you can still see positivity. Okay, in the Arsenal result, there was that. Let's not beat around the bush, but I'm going off what I've seen, not just this season. People forget last season he was still here, you know.
Yeah.
Like I haven't forgotten that. And I allowed him because, you know, I thought the suffering is gone. We brought in some players. We're going to see an identity. We're going to start seeing structure. We're going to start seeing patterns of play. We're going to be less negative. And nothing's changed. This is the same thing every single week. I don't expect to win a game. I don't expect to get a point in game. So it's like, with you saying the briefing has come out, I feel like, yes, there might be a positive spin on it, but you got to realize there was Ten Hag briefing as well. Usually when there's a briefing, that means that something's going on.
Exactly.
If he loses against Chelsea, yeah, I can't lie, bro. Like, what are we doing here? Do you know what I'm saying? There's no other option.
But the other problem we've got here is apparently, what is it they said? That there's a clause and he has to get through his first year or else we have to pay him 12 million. Now,
bro, listen, Man United just declared they got the most revenue. I don't care about 12 million. I care about results.
Also 1 billion in debt.
1 million in debt. It's just been dropped today. It's like I don't see.
You don't want to spend no more money.
Do you know
Like
what?
a Ponzi scheme. You're actually like a Ponzi scheme.
I just wanted to add on.
Scheme at Man United.
Sorry, what's your name in the Cap? Sorry, I've not.
Charles.
Nice to meet you, Charles. I just wanted to expand on his point, right? Normally, when you start getting this unprovoked briefing that a manager's all right, the border behind him, you know what comes next. And Drift, Errol, I still think we deal with them, but I'm just telling you now, United will have a new manager, whether it's interim, whether it's a permanent manager, when they come to Anfield, because we've got them the first game after the international break. I actually think Chelsea beat them for the first time in how many years? Look, I'm going to throw a shot at Hooks and Aaron here, but it's like when Arsenal come to Anfield, you know they're not winning. It's kind of like Chelsea when they go to United, but I think
I won in 2012.
No, but you know what I mean? It's been a long time.
That ain't a flex, that you know, bro. I didn't have grey hairs in 2012. That's not a flex.
I was alive.
I was alive. I was in school, bro. So
was I, but I was alive. Actually, I was in university. I was alive. I was alive.
But my point is, like, it's been a long time, but there is a first time for everything. Like, of course, Arsenal will come to Anfield one day. Hope it's not anytime soon. But I actually think Chelsea end their drought, and I think they get the result tomorrow. The only way I know your fixtures, because I did a show earlier, I think you got Brentford in a 12:30 next week as well. I genuinely think you lose that as well, and I don't know who your fixture is after that. But I genuinely think they pull the plug. Who's your fixture?
Sunderland after that.
Actually, I don't think it matters at this point.
It doesn't matter.
They'll get a result. They're going to pull the plug. They're going to pull the plug.
You're not thinking about the long game. I need all of my fellow brethren and rivals to link up here. We need to counteract all of this negativity about Amorim, that the Manchester United fans are spouting online. He needs time, he needs to pick up the wins, because we got to think about the long game. We can sacrifice Chelsea losing to them and Brentford losing to them just to keep him in the job so they can get relegated. We have to think about the long game.
We're not getting right.
We have to think about the long game.
That's just the biggest fish I've ever heard. You know that doesn't happen.
There's bad logic with that though, Hooks, because we've played the long game and we don't win any trophies. So, you know what I mean?
You tell him.
Hey, hey, and I know it's hard for you, Aaron, to just not go one stream without talking dirt on Arsenal, but focus, concentrate. We're talking about United at the moment. We need
you. I'll play along with you. I'll play along with you.
We need him to stay in the job, man. Have to get relegated. Yeah, you men deserve this.
So
You men deserve this.
Why do we
see,
deserve it?
what you're going through now, you man deserve this because you don't know what it's like to be on the other end yet of having to go to school every single day and these man chatting shit. Oh my God!
Ferguson left 12 years ago, man. I've suffered enough now.
Whoa, do you think I work in a square room and no one there? I get this every day, brother. Every day I get reminded.
It's karma.
Because I haven't had a bunch of 15-year-olds freaking telling me that we're crap. They're like, what?
Fergie time. Oh my God!
That was 12 years ago, my brother. I'm suffering.
Don't worry, Liverpool are taking that now. They're all good.
Look, do you remember when they used to tell us all we were was a history club? Liverpool boys.
That was my go-to. That was my go-to. That's all I had. That was my go-to.
In school, I'm having to bob and weave against people. I just had to rise my Champions League in 05 that I was just about old enough to even remember, bro.
You know what, though? Hey, I'll tell you the difference between Manchester United, Liverpool, and Arsenal is, do you know something? Manchester United not being at the top, guess what? We still win trophies. Liverpool not being at the top for years, guess what? They still win trophies. Arsenal, lockdown.
I want
billions spent. The light bulb analogy. Let me find myself a light bulb. Let me go for Arteta.
See, Aaron, this is what you did. This is what you did, Aaron. This is your
Thank you, Aaron.
This right here. This is what it's all about. Hang on a minute. I'll see if I can fish out a photographer to come and bring. Hey, Matt, come here. Come take pictures of me.
This is your fault. This is your fault, Aaron.
Absolute joke. I'm not taking this from Arsenal. I can't take this from Arsenal.
No.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Remember that. Remember your place.
Wait. I've been the bride many a times throughout my life at your expense. Yeah, so relax on that
Twice. In our battle, in our biggest era of battling, we beat every year. We lost twice.
I'm not Aaron. I will do this war for Arsenal. Yeah,
I would love to do this war, but I met you face to face, and you're a big guy.
I need you to remember. I need you to remember. Yeah, Grimsby Town thought that they could rotate against you, and they still won.
Facts. I agree.
When was the last time you won 2 games in a row?
When was the last time you won a Premier League, brother? When was the last time you won a Premier League? When did you win a Premier League? Oh, it was the golden era. The golden
Whoa.
No.
Is this the Red Cartel or the Red History Show?
We ain't having this. We ain't having this. You want to do this? We ain't having this. I'm sat here every year. I'm meant to be told every year, Arsenal this year. Yeah, we're still waiting for this club to go and do the next step.
What's going on?
There's nothing.
Am I in the twilight zone?
You may as well be. You've got Arteta as your manager, mate. You're almost there. Almost there.
Whoa. Hey, do you know what
I'll tell you what, you're like me when my wife is telling me to come to the shops. I'm always saying, I'm almost there, honey. I'm almost there.
Do you know what Arteta's done? He's won 2 games in a row.
Yeah. Do you know what Ten Hag did? He won 2 trophies 2 years in a row. Do you get me? We did 2 years in a row.
Wait, is Ten Hag at your club?
Sorry?
Is Ten Hag your manager?
No, he's not, and that's the hilarious thing. A manager who has been sacked by our club in the doldrums has still won more than your manager has in his entire time there.
Wait. What you winning this season?
We are winning the Fair Play Trophy.
Oh, the Fair Play Trophy. Oh, yeah. Do you know what's mad to me? I can't believe that a Manchester United fan has the gall, to talk when you got knocked out of a trophy before the transfer window closed. I didn't even know that was possible. Bro. So
I agree.
Whoa. Hold up.
We need one game a week, mate. We need one game a week. It's all up here. It's all the planning, mate. It's all the planning.
Or what? How are you regenerating that 1 billion? It's dark for you, man, at the moment. You know.
Hey,
Soon
we're
loads
1
up.
billion in debt, and we're
Loads
still
up.
our wage bill for the first time in the Premier League era is less than yours. So you better be winning trophies this season because you spent in the fees, you spending the money.
You know them ones in the when you're on the blocks and you get me, mum hasn't paid the bills. Who's that at the door? Yeah, coming to collect.
Can't
something
pay,
from
take
you,
it
man.
away, man. Can't pay, take it
Yeah,
away.
man, you men are dead. You men are so dead. You men are so dead.
Let me ask you
Grimsby
seriously,
Town, bro.
Looks, let me ask you seriously then, all right?
Cool.
If in the event that United continue to fall off, they lose to Chelsea, they lose to Brentford, they draw against Sunderland, say they go into that international break and they pull the plug, where do they go from there? They're going to have to pay over 12 mil to get rid of him. There's not going to be a whole plethora of managers that are available to go and pick from. Where do they realistically go? Do they stick with an interim, or is there another man out there that can, I want to say steady the ship, but the ship's already sinking? Is there another man that can recover them this season?
I'll be real, yeah. At this point, yeah, I wouldn't even wait till the international break. I personally would have sacked him at the Grimsby game. You see, the Grimsby game, he wouldn't have been getting back on the team coach. He would have been finding his own way back to his yard in Manchester, innit? I would have sacked him then. But I honestly think, yeah, let's be real. If you sack him, you got to pay him money. That's the first thing. You already don't really have too much money to free cash at the moment, innit? All locked up in assets. You're in debt. Yeah. Truth be told, you've actually signed some good players, and you actually have some good players in your squad. The only thing I think you're missing is like a proper CM. I feel that's what you need, like a proper CM.
I agree.
Me personally, I would just go, you know what, Michael Carrick.
Hooks, can I ask you a nice question? Do you think then, with the players we've got, the formation change sorts it out?
Yeah, I honestly think if you play with a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3, then the thing is as crazy. Is you got Mbumo, who, by the way, the reason why you signed him is because what he did at Brentford last season, and he was playing on the wing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And now he's playing in some central role. And it's but that's not really his game. He wants to be out wide and to
be fair to him, he's working his fucking socks off at the minute.
Yeah.
I feel like as much as he's not getting the rewards for it, I think he's been someone that is not necessarily embodied, but he's embodied we need to be on job. There needs to be a standard, and I need to be I'm not saying I need to be the one, but he seems to be the one that wants to stand on business at the moment for United. And I just think there's so many holes that just can't be plugged at the minute in terms of the midfield. The goalkeeper seems to be a bit of an issue.
Errol, you could, though, as Hook said, if you went to a 4-2-3-1 and played the 2 6s there, protect that back four, it would plug a lot. It would plug so much more at the moment. You hear Amorim, Chills will agree. You hear Amorim after the City game saying, well, no, we play with 3 defenders and 5 midfielders. We play a 5-2-3. There ain't no 3 defenders. It's 5 at the back, 2 midfielders. And what happens with that? Because you're playing 3 up the top, they are just penetrating and pushing straight through that midfield 2 who are trying to do the job of 4. It's basic football. And I know as fans, I know fan accounts, I know YouTubers, we get so much stick from the so-called professionals who are paid so much money because they know more than us, apparently. But if we can see this week in, week out, how's the manager not seeing this? And more to the point, I'll ask this question. Does he see it and just doesn't want to change his ways because he genuinely is at a point now where because he's played it too long, he doesn't want to lose face here?
No, he's going to die. He's going to die on that hill. He's going to die on the sword.
It's not a gambling addiction, isn't it? It's a gambling addiction. You just want to pay. You want to keep going just to try and get your money back. Yeah. You know you're going to lose regardless. You may as well just quit while you're certain behind before you absolutely completely finish.
Before you lose the house, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, Errol, to answer your question, bro, I think United fans need to get used to the fact that they will be playing 3 at the back because I think it's Glasner.
Well, and you know, when I say this, yeah, Glasner was originally a 4 at the back manager. The good manager's been able to go to 4 and 3. I'm not. This is my problem. This is my problem with Ruben Amorim. I don't have a problem with the formation. Yeah, more so, I have a problem is the fact that you can't change it. That's my issue. My issue is the fact that I see Dogo as our main attacking outlet when we spent 200 million on strikers. That don't make sense to me. We needed a midfielder. You sign Sesko, he doesn't play all of a sudden. His first game that he does play is in the Manchester derby. How does that make sense? So all of this stuff, it just it's so amateur what I'm seeing. even if it means taking off a 10 and putting an extra midfielder in. I haven't seen it. Ruben Amorim has shown that he can't adapt in any situation. It doesn't make any sense to me. We can't get back-to-back wins.
I'll give you a better.
Just quickly before you jump in, Dan. Just quickly, do you know what it stinks of from the outside in? You've got no plan B, and your plan A is dog shit.
Well, here's a manager, right? So there's another manager who started managing a club the same sort of time as Amorim. Won a lot in his first couple of seasons at his previous club. Moved to another club and realised the formation he used at his previous club wasn't going to work and decided to change it. Xabi Alonso was playing that formation at Bayer Leverkusen. It was working a dream. He was winning. He broke the duck of Bayern Munich winning everything. He won the season, did all that. He goes to Real Madrid. He looks at it, he goes, this ain't working in this league. We're changing it up. If you as a manager are not prepared to change things around, but bearing in mind in the last season and a half, well, so we'll go back to 2024-25 season from the start of there. United have changed their in-game formation 7 times since then, since the start of last season. How are we supposed to even try and consider ourselves as a club that can get into Conference League, let alone try and get into Champions League?
Do you know what's crazy about that point as well? Xabi Alonso originally started in the 3-4-3 or whatever formation he calls it in the Club World Cup. These men were getting touched constantly. Correct. All of a sudden, he realized, all right, cool. With this squad, the 3 at the back thing ain't going to work. I'm going to have to adapt and be the manager that I am, and I'm going to go at the 4 at the back. Again, I'm not even asking Ruben Amorim to go 4 at the back. I'm asking just sometimes put an extra midfielder in there. Yeah, stop relying on Dogu to be our main outlet. Put a winger in there instead. Do something different.
Try it.
And try it.
Charles, I'll tell you what, how can you not have tried it by now?
But also you look at it, right? If he was to go to that 4-2-3-1, you would see the front, you'd see the 3 midfielders as Cunha, Bruno, and Mbeumo. You've got the 2 wingers that can cut in and do what they want. You've got Šeško as the man up top there. That's creativity and goals. That is like literally easy. It's so simple. But at this point, and I'll tell you another thing quickly. After the game against Man City, we just lost against one of our biggest rivals. The fans are hurting. The club is hurting. You'd like to think the players are hurting, right? He comes out and says, I'll play this formation or you can sack me. Don't be doing this after a big... I don't think this guy realizes the magnitude. I really don't.
No, but Dan, he wants to get sacked.
Yeah, that's the question. I saw
that interview, and he's basically putting it out there. He's literally telling them in a subliminal message, sack me. I swear he even said, if they want to change, I'm not going to change what I do. If they want to change what I do, they have to change the man.
I'll tell you what he changed his tune on. I'll tell you what he changed his fucking tune on. Sorry, I know we're before 9, but I will swear.
That's all good.
I'll tell you what he changed his fucking tune on. Last season, he went, I'll go without compensation. My guy hasn't said one thing.
Big facts. Do you know what?
Completely got that.
Because he got home and his wife said, "You do what?"
She's already got the shopping list, hasn't she? Do you know what I mean?
Can I say one more thing about Amorim as well? Can I say one more thing?
You got the floor, bro. You got the floor.
Last thing, yeah. For me, Kobbie Mainoo as well is one of our biggest talents, I've seen in coming out of United since Paul Pogba in the midfield. The fact that he can't play in our midfield, because Bruno is being shoehorned as a number 6 or 8, whatever you want to call it, is criminal. If you can't get your best players in the team or you can't find a system for them, alone you should be sacked. Kobbie Mainoo's on the bench, bro. I've seen this guy boss games for Manchester United. I've seen him boss games for England. I'm not going to be gaslighted by Amorim stance to say that Kobbie Mainoo can't play as a number 8 or number 6 no more. He broke into the team as a number 8, number 6.
He tried to get rid of him. It took Sir Jim to stand in to get involved before the end of the window. He ain't going. You were not.
Do you know what the reality is? Do you know what the reality is? Yeah, it's the mentality of your club.
And I agree with that. Hooks, I agree with that.
You can diss Amorim all you want, but this is something that Amorim can't control. In the Arsenal game, a ball goes into the box. I think it was 0-0 at this point. A ball goes into the box. Ahmad could have brought it down, placed it in the bottom left corner. What does he do? Hollywood. But again, there, Hollywood. Bicycle kick. Why are you doing a bicycle kick? And then again, against Manchester City, ball goes into the box. Ahmad could have brought it down, put it in the bottom left corner. 1-0 up. what does a man do? Hollywood. Anytime the cameras, are on your players, they want to do what Hollywood. You get me, trying to get contracts and all of them thing there. It's a mentality thing. You need to. Do you know what? Yeah. And it's kind of hard to do it now, but I feel like Manchester United might have to accept it. You need to gut everything. You need to do
that. Hey, they tried that though, Hooks. And meanwhile, Rashford scoring braces.
But ignore all of that. That's all noise. No, but that's all noise. That's all noise. Man United fans shouldn't worry about that. Man United fans shouldn't worry about that.
We've seen this guy do this for years. Once in every 6 or 7 games, he'll hit
this is
he's incredible.
Yeah. Right. And the one thing that I think he's the most comfortable. I know you can say hindsight's a great thing, but United strong-armed Amorim into the job, whether it was November or December time, they strong-armed him into it and said, look, if you don't come now, the job's not going to be there for you in the summer. Amorim, if he believed in himself, he would have turned around and said, I've got the leverage. I'll see you in the summer. If you want me, I'll see you in the summer, and you can come with me with your your transfer budget and the targets that you're going to identify and go after. And if we have to work behind the scenes in the meantime to identify certain players together, we will do that. But only after having that understanding of 6 months before I take the job will I look to be moved. And the fact that he was allowed to be bullied into taking it, I think he's now put himself in that culpable position of being, oh, do you know what? I took a job I shouldn't have taken.
Errol, with that, you've got a guy in Jason Wilcox who is only just today. He is like our sporting director, whatever. They make these names up for these people. He comes out today and says, you know what? I didn't realize how big a club United was until I got here. Are you mad? Are you mad?
We've been living on Mars. Where the fuck have you been? Fucking one of, if not the biggest clubs in this country. Do you not have a residence here?
I agree.
Not pay council tax.
He should have had the leverage, and he should kind of call the shots, because that's the thing with big managers, that they kind of interview the clubs. The clubs don't interview them. However, he didn't want to run that risk of there's no guarantee United come back in for me in the summer. It's a massive. I know it's a bit ironic because you literally just said, Dan, that he didn't realize how big United was. He did. I think he's just saying that. But he didn't want to run that risk and lose out on the opportunity. And you know what I've realized about managers as well? It's easy just to say the blasé thing. Why would a manager want to go there? They're in a mess. Sometimes managers want to be that hero. You want to be the
hero. You've got a superhero complex, man. Definitely. Lads, just before we continue, just dead quick, I've got a super chat that I just want to get to real quick. Thank you very much for the super chat. It says, United are so terrible that even Liverpool fans are starting to view them with a form of curiosity in addition to the lols. And very quickly, Dan United, thank you very much for joining us tonight. I know you're going to do a show over on your side, and then you would pot a little bit later. So big up, bro. Thank you very much for making the time.
Boys, have a good one.
Appreciate it. Bro. Where are we? Cool. So yeah, I mean, Shells, I don't really want to just keep sending for you and your team, so to speak. I think you're gonna have a tough weekend. But very quickly, are you feeling, I'm not saying confident, but do you feel you will get a result against Chelsea?
Just touching what Dan said, Chelsea don't win at Old Trafford. They're so boring. I watched Chelsea I thought they was gonna make a leap. I was saying on my own channel as well. I'm disappointed by their transfer signings, if I'm honest with you. So a lot of sideways. They signed, instead of signing like quality, they just signed a bunch of, I'll take you.
They stockpile players season in, season out.
You know what I mean? Rather than having a clear structure, it's more so like, all right, we're just going to buy you just so we can get profit later. Do you get what I'm saying? And I thought they was going to have a step up to where Arsenal are going to be, where Liverpool going to be. And I just don't see it right now. They'll probably still win because we are shit. Do you get what I'm saying? We're absolutely crap. But I don't care, bro. I don't care. I just don't care no more. I got to a point where I just come back from Malta. Life was good. You get me? Life was good over there. And I've come back to this, and it is what it is. But yeah, I don't know, Errol. Honestly, I don't know.
Mate, coming back off a holiday for 2025 Man United is not the one, is it?
This is what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. Should I be confident? No. Are we gonna win? No. Are Chelsea good? Does that make Chelsea good if they beat us? No. Do you know what I mean? There's not really much to say.
Genuinely doesn't.
So is a draw a successful result then? Like, would that be considered a success right now?
No. Nothing.
Even though everyone's expecting the L though. Like everybody thinks
I'm not expecting an L. I'm not expecting an L because I don't think Chelsea they don't play well at Old Trafford. It's historic. It's just probably going to be a boring draw, if I'm honest.
Okay.
Let me ask something similar. Do you not think a good win would kickstart something, or have you just the consistency's been down the shitter for 18 months? I get it. I'm not unwise to it, but you just don't think a good 2-0 win, good performance. You don't think that would kickstart anything.
It don't change anything.
To draw the next one, yeah.
It don't change anything because I've seen enough from this manager. It's not people acting like it's only 4 games. It's 38 games now. Do you get what I'm saying? It's been a whole Prem season. I've seen enough. And I watch my team enough to suggest that nothing's going to improve. Like, again, Dorgu is our main outlet. Why is Dorgu the main outlet? When you have the likes of Sesko, you have the likes of Cunha, you like to have the likes of Mbeumo in the team. It doesn't make any sense. No top manager. It's like watching Arsenal and then all of a sudden seeing Calafiori their main outlet, or watching Liverpool and seeing Kirkheads as their main outlet. It doesn't make sense, bro. Like, the formation has players in uncomfortable situations and situations they're not accustomed to. And that's why it's not working. It's as simple as that. I don't think the players believe in it anymore. I think the tone has changed as well. From the summer, there was a lot of optimism, so and so. But I feel like that's just...
doesn't last. It just goes.
It's gone. Reality's hit and the players have realized, you know what, actually...
It's going to be a long season under this guy if we continue like this. Yeah. And again, when football careers are short anyway, they feel like if I've got to waste the whole season, the likes of Mainu not getting into the team regularly enough, does that affect my chances for England? We don't believe we're going to push into European places. Do we even want the Conference League? So do we want to be competitive around 6th, 7th and 8th? All of those things will start playing into the players' mindsets, and it'll only take you to get till November before that becomes the path that you're going to take for the rest of the season. So it is looking very dark for United. And as I say, when we put the show together, it was always meant to be like, even though we're all rivals in our own way, we've kind of got to have a vested interest because there's an outside force that want to kind of take our spots in one way or another. United are fighting for their lives right now. Like I struggle to justify having you on the show more often than not because I'm like, I want to talk about competitive stuff. I want to be able to banter. I want to go back and forth. And you know when you're like, someone's like taking licks and you're like, I can't keep beating up on this guy here. Like he's been beat up already enough times. Like it's not fun to just keep beating on the kid that just gets beat by everybody. So it is dark for United at the moment. Yes, Rams.
It isn't. I'll admit it's getting boring now, even trolling them. But long may it continue. That I won't do the trolling, but it can still happen because
they can become their own meme. They control themselves.
Yeah, they'll control themselves.
No, but you know what? This is what football's about, isn't it? If Liverpool had their era where they was laughing stock, it was never like this bad though to a point of 15. But listen, I'm here for it. It's football, innit? End of the day, these guys are titled to banner.
Out of it all, the thing I love the most is the fact that yous have got the digital footprint of how shit yous are. Like, if Liverpool would have been in the doldrums in social media times, it would have like going to school was like I say, I'm up in Liverpool, so for me, whether we was good or bad, there was never really too many of our rival fans that were trying to mock it. But if it would have been online and they jumped on MSN or MySpace back in the day and people would have been taking the piss, that shit would have hurt me. Whereas now, United can't turn on any social media app without being the punchline or the joke. So it is difficult. But lads, I want to talk about a team now that Hook's mentioned before, inevitable. This the season that Arsenal win. There's two sides to this coin for me. Because I'm sitting here from a Liverpool fan perspective. I'm looking at the way that we're not necessarily playing, but the results that we're getting and the way that we're getting them. And I think there's a claim at this point to say already, it's inevitable that Liverpool are going to be a force to be reckoned with this season, and it is going to be very hard to wrestle the Premier League away from them. But then on the flip side of the coin, I've heard a lot of noise. I've done a lot of shows with Arsenal fans. I've heard a lot of noise that suggests that this has to be the season that Mikel Arteta gets it over the line. Now, I just kind of want to do a quick assessment of the first 4-5 games, if we include the Champions League game as well. Forget what Liverpool are doing, Hooks. Purely based on the squad depth that Arsenal have got at this moment in time, is it an absolute must that Mikel Arteta brings home silverware to the Emirates by the end of the season?
That's on him, though, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, as a fan, I want silverware every season, so my expectation on that don't really change. Like, I hear it like you go from show to show. People want to hear you say, "Oh, Arteta must this season. No, Arsenal must this season." It's like it doesn't really mean anything. Like, I just want to win stuff. Whether it's a must or not is, I think it's besides the point. Like, but Arsenal have the squad depth this year. A lot of the things that Arsenal fans were complaining about last season in terms of the depth, we've solved it. Like, we've gone I think it's three to 4 games. Well, 3 and a bit because Saka came off in the Leeds game. So 3 and a bit games without Saka, and we've gone 3 games without Saliba, and
you've only conceded 1 goal, and it was a fucking rocket.
And it was a free kick. So like we went to when we played Nottingham Forest, there was no Odegaard, there was no Declan Rice in the starting lineup, no Saka, no Saliba. We won the game comfortably. So I think the thing that a lot of fans wanted, we've now got it. Obviously, it's a small sample size at the moment, and we'll have to see. We'll have to revisit maybe game week 10, then maybe game week 20. But I feel like when you're trying to actually win the title or win big trophies, you have to kind of break the season up into chunks and see how you're doing as you go by a set of games. But look, I think the only thing that will stop us this season is and it's already happened once. And Fairs, in reality, it probably should have been a draw, but Szoboszlai scored a wonder free kick. It is what it is, right? The only thing that will stop us is the decisions that Arteta makes for the big games.
Yeah,
I think that's the only thing that will really like.
The only thing
with City coming up this weekend, is this a bit of an acid test for that as well?
Yeah, this is another like, because look, in all reality, Arsenal actually have a strong enough 11 to go toe-to-toe with anyone. It doesn't even matter who it is. It could be anyone in the world. We have a strong enough 11 to go toe-to-toe with anyone. It's more about how do you decide to set up that 11 approaching the game. That's really the only thing. Because I don't think that, for example, if we go to Liverpool and we try and take the game to Liverpool, I think we win the game. The same with Man City. If we go to the Etihad and we take the game to them, I think we win the game.
The problem is we don't do that, and that's
exactly. That's the thing. That's the only thing that's really gonna stop us. Because let's be real. Like, Arsenal and Liverpool are head and shoulders above everyone else in the league. In all reality, so really and truly, all we need to worry about really is when we play Liverpool, beat them. We've already failed 1 test. So now that means a game that maybe we could have dropped points in because we beat Liverpool, we can't drop points in that game. That's all it really means. And it also means that when you come to the Emirates, we have to beat you. Like, it can't be a draw. It has to be a win. So
Aaron, I'm going to ask let me ask you this, and then you can obviously reply to Hux's comments as well. Given the depth that you've got, whether you feel it's strong enough or not, would you now sacrifice potentially not putting your eye towards the Champions League or the FA Cup, or saying, we just want a particular trophy, let's just double down on that and make sure that game in, game out, we have the strongest team, strongest 11, strongest bench that can take on that team, and we're going to either accumulate enough points or we're just going to knock out every team on the way to the final, because that suffices. That's enough. Because where I see with Arsenal at the moment is, I feel like you're set up to try and compete on all 4 fronts, but at some point, as Liverpool have found in the past seasons, you just run out of steam. And when you run out of steam, the performances and the results in other games that did matter all of a sudden have a bit of a knock-on effect. I don't know if Arsenal are going to end up getting caught up in that trap, thinking they can win multiple and then failing to win any. Does that make sense?
Errol. Yeah, look, I'd have said that 2 years ago. I'd have said, maybe. And I wouldn't have said it in September either, to be fair. But I'd have said, maybe this squad ain't really got about it, to go toe-to-toe in the later stages of the Champions League, in your domestic cups, and compete 2 years ago, probably with a really good Manchester City side. But listen, it's now. I can't sit here and say, we need to have a good squad depth. We need to do this. We bought very well in the summer, and then say, well, now maybe we should just focus on one competition. I'm sorry. I want us to compete in all 4. And that's not me sitting here and saying I expect to win all 4. I'm really.
I respect that. I rate that. I do rate that.
But what I do want us to do after 5.5 years, £1 billion spent, and a very heavy summer this year, very good summer, very good summer. Now
we had the talk at the start of the transfer window, and you was a little bit apprehensive and not confident that the summer was going to give you the volume of players to the quality that was needed. And we've had conversations since, and you've said, do you know what? Fair play. The board done their job. They've done business. Players through the door.
Errol, mate, I'm big enough and ugly enough to be able to hold my hands up. Do you know what I mean? I say it for what it is. And we've actually had from that point when I was like, look, not really started well. From now, this point, good summer, really good window, buzzing. I can also then say in September the 19th, now I'm not sacrificing 3 cups for one competition. Maybe I'll say that in March, April, depending on what the crack is. Do you know what I mean? Maybe if we're completely 10 points behind Liverpool, maybe then I will go, yeah, probably should put all our eggs in the Champions League basket or this basket, but definitely not in September. Do you know what I mean? I think we've got the squad now, and I thought I'd add this as well. You know, I've been reading a little bit in the week, saying like the media have been criticising Arsenal as well about rotating and doing that. Bruv, I'll actually stick up for Mikel Arteta, and I don't do it often. This is what we've been asking for, a squad depth, and people now are going at the geezer for rotating, and his players are winning it. Bruv, for that specific point, give the geezer a break. His substitutions worked. They paid off. We've got a squad. Fair dues to Arteta for that Bilbao game. They were the right substitutions because we've got a bit of hindsight. They came on, changed the game, done the thing, and that's what the big squad's all about. Bro, 19th of September, mate, I don't want to sack any trophies off. I don't want to sack them off anyway, especially not this early. I just think for Arsenal, what Hooks was sort of saying as well, was like, you know, people are saying Arsenal must. It's only Arsenal must because of you're factoring in all the, we've spent loads of money. He's been here for a long time. Arsenal have to do something now. You know, there's no time of it. The excuses have run out. And that's what it is. So while we're saying, oh, you've spent 200-300 million in the summer, you've acquired 8 players, you've got a good squad, you've got a really good squad. They're a really good fucking squad. Sorry for the swearing.
No,
the excuses are running out. So that's why for me, I'm saying Arsenal must. I'm not just going, I expect Arsenal to win every single year, the Premier League, 5, 6, 7 years on the trot. What I'm saying is now it's the time to win it. And if it isn't, where's the excuses coming from? If Arteta is trophyless, let's just say trophyless, totally trophyless. How can you support
justify
that? People will go, oh, but it's context. What about if he finishes second again? What about if he gets to a Champions League final? What about so what? So what? So we do it next year, and then he might get knocked out in the group stages, or he might get knocked out in the quarterfinals and finish 10 points behind again. Oh, so should we get another manager in 2 years' time? It's got to get to a point where we just go, do you know what? Maybe Mikel Arteta just isn't the guy to get us over that line. He's got us to a point. Granted, I'll hold my hands up and go, do you know what? He's got us to.
You've got a squad. You've got a good squad.
And got us this. He hasn't been given it. He hasn't tactically inherited a shit squad, kept that shit squad, had no support over 5 years, and then turned the existing players into world beaters. He hasn't done that. He's been given £1 billion over 5-6 years. You know, so we've been given assistance,
which is not a lot, though.
Still not won nothing.
Do you know what, Aaron?
Let me ask the Liverpool lads. Quick, sorry, Rob. Because you can add in this into your response as well. Based on what you've seen first 5 games of Arsenal, Liverpool lads. I'm not saying scared or you look frightening, but do you think Arsenal are going to push us right to the end of the season? If it is going to be us and Arsenal this year, do you think they're going to push us all the way?
Do you want to go first, Drift? Or?
Possibly. I'm not gonna shit on Arsenal. I know we like to banter, but obviously they're a good team at the moment, so I'm not gonna shit on them. But what I will say is, I need to watch the Man City game. I think this will be a big test because let's be fair. And again, I'm not being disingenuous. Leeds and Nottingham Forest were meant to be beaten. I'm not really gauging those 2 games.
But I do gauge. The reason I gauge on them, Drift, is because historically we used to suffer from this. We go against the big teams and we turn up and we do
Errol,
the job.
This was my point. Sorry, just to piggyback on what you said. I disagree with what Hook said in his opening segment is it depends what Arteta does in the big games. For me, it's the opposite. You saw their record before we beat them. They were somewhat, they didn't lose in the big games. Might not won all of them, but they didn't lose. For me, it's the West Hams, the Fulhams. I'll tell you a key game, right? In the 23-24 season, I was with my brother. We watched both games. We had just lost to Palace. Drift and Errol, you'll remember. The irony is Eze scored, right?
Good.
We had millions of chances to put that to bed. Then Arsenal had Aston Villa. And again, Arsenal after Liverpool, probably a club I know most about. Most of my family support them, right? So the club probably watched second most, right? And Havertz, whether you rate him or not, that's subjective. But Havertz went on a mad run where he scored, I think, 15 out of something home games that season. Jesus had just come back into the team. He starts Jesus and he drops Havertz. It's the little things I feel like when the pressure creeps up on Arteta. Did you want to jump in there?
Yeah. I want to double down on your point as well, because it's a fantastic point, and I've got another example. In the 22-23 season, when we were 8 points ahead, Gabriel Jesus again was out injured. We'd signed Trossard in that
Trossard had
window.
been pulling up trees for weeks, for a month.
Smashing it. Player of the month, left, right, and centre. I think he might have even got 2. Jesus comes back, he rushes him back, drops him. We draw West Ham, draw against you boys. Do you know what I'm saying? He makes them critical decisions. You're exactly right, mate. And they're the wrong ones.
And Aaron, it's normally, you could say big games, but it normally comes in the smaller games. And to answer your question, Errol, I'll be honest. I think we have the best 11 in the league. Me and Hook speak about this weekly. I think we have the best 11 in the league, but I do think they have probably a better squad than us. Not a better 11. I think 11 for 11, we've got the best. But I'll probably say Arsenal might have a deeper and a better squad than us. But the reason why, and I'm not writing them off because to answer your question as well, I do think they take us to the wire. I actually think this league's won on the last day because I think they've got strength in depth, but I still think we win the league. But the reason why I think we win the league as well is because of the man in charge. I think if they had another manager, I think I'll be a bit more fearful of the Arsenal. But I just feel like when the pressure comes on this Arsenal team, we've already seen our players. You've got a World Cup winner in McAllister, now Premier League winner. Most of the squad won the league apart from the new signings. Wirtz, albeit it's another league, he still has that muscle memory. He still knows what it takes to win in a title race, albeit it's the Bundesliga. You've got your Salahs, you've got your Van Dijk, you've got the Alissons, you've got the Roberts that have won multiple. We just know how to get over the line. Look, I know there is a first time for everything, but I just think Arteta, when the pressure comes on to Arsenal, I'm yet to see. If Arsenal win the league, I will never doubt him again because he would have now proved him. But I need to see Arsenal do this first. That's why I know
it's the same thing people used to say about Klopp as well for a period of time, John. He's got to get the Champions League over the line. Can't always be a bridesmaid. Before I bring you back in, Roms, that quick, I just want to say big up to Hooks. Thank you very much for joining. Before you jump out of the show, Hooks, do let us know. Are you getting the 3 points against Manchester City? And does he set up to win this weekend?
I think we're getting the 3 points. Like I'm quietly confident that we'll get the 3 points. Like I have started to become a bit concerned about Haaland coming into form before going into the game against us. But I am quietly confident.
Do you put Saliba back in or do you keep Mosquera? Is that how I pronounce his name, by the way?
Mosquera. Yeah, Mosquera. So I don't know, man. It's a very difficult because you know what? In all fairness, something that Arteta said a lot this season is like when players. Well, I'm paraphrasing here, but he's basically said when players are in form, you have to play them. This is literally he said it on many occasions.
The only reason I'll disagree with that, Hook, sorry to interrupt you, brother. The only reason I'll disagree with that is because you've got to remember that going up against Haaland's no easy feat, and Arsenal centre backs as a duo, Saliba and Gabriel. I think that handles it. I reckon play Mosquera, I totally get it. It'd be a bit of a kick in the teeth to drop that lad for him because he's been unbelievable. But as a duo, as a partnership, handling, like you said quite rightly, an informed Haaland, I would if it was anyone else and Haaland won't fit, I'll go, keep Mosquera in there. But because Haaland's there and we know what he can do and he's into a bit of form, you need your duo back there.
Would you say some players? Go on, Charles.
You see Mosquera, he stepped into Anfield, the hardest ground in the league.
Yeah.
The hardest ground in the league. Man,
that's a good point. That's a good point.
13 million, bro. 13. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. Based on, based on what he's shown and what he doesn't look like he's uncomfortable there at all. I know Saliba's an absolute bad boy. He's top 3.
It's a different challenge, though. You got to say he hasn't faced a physical battle.
Yeah, I was going to say at Anfield. At Anfield, he didn't really have to do much because Ekitike kept playing deep, dropping into the space.
Yeah.
Haaland will be up on him the whole game. Do you know what I mean? It'll be a total
wrestling match. It's a wrestling match.
I'd argue, sorry to interrupt you, I'd argue Gabriel will be doing that more though. I think Gabriel will be the aggressor, if I'm honest with you. And it seems like that when you have played him previously, Haaland and Gabriel got history. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like Gabriel will be the aggressor. It's a good problem.
If he pulls to the right though, G, what does he do about it? Because Gabriel can't keep following him, so he might just pinpoint himself on Mosquera. Do you know what I mean? He'd be like, "I'm gonna draw myself over here."
You know what?
And then if you come over here, you just leave gaps you don't want to leave. Do you know what I mean? Like,
do you know what, Drift? Right? I just feel like with certain players, it's a non-negotiable. It's like even with Madueke playing well, if Saka's fit, he comes straight back in. I know Mosquera's playing out of his skin, and he hasn't put a foot wrong. But I think there's certain players in your squad, it's non-negotiable. Do you remember we had it, Errol and Drift, where Kelleher, bad boy, won us trophies.
Soon as Alisson's fit,
when Alisson was fit, you get some minority of the family saying maybe Kelleher should keep his fit. No, your best keeper when he's fit, for me, comes back in. Especially if it was a Premier Champions League game. If it was a cup game, then Kelleher could keep his place if Alisson came back, because he won us trophies. And normally our trophy when he won us cups, he would actually play every game. But when it comes to Premier Champions League, I was like, let's just calm down here. He's our better keeper. He can deal with the pressure moments a bit more. I just feel Saliba come straight back in. I agree with you.
Can I say one more thing?
Then I'll jump in after that.
Arsenal fans have complained about Arteta rushing players back.
True.
They finally have the quote unquote best squad in the league. I think so. I agree. You lot have the best 11. In my opinion. But in terms of squad, they finally have the best squad. Yeah, they come back in. Saliba gets injured. What are they gonna say?
To be fair, if it was a longer, lengthy injury and he hadn't been on the bench for the previous 2 games, I'll go, okay, you've got a really good point. If it had been out and then he hadn't have been on the bench or whatever, maybe I'll go, yeah, all right, fair dues, I can see where you're coming from. But he's been on the bench a couple of games, and he probably hasn't came on due to Mosquera's unbelievable form. Fair dues to the lad, by the way, unbelievable.
That's what you want, though, the competition for places,
But what I would say as well, there's another added little thing. And look, they're all elite level footballers. They probably don't even think like this. But if I was Haaland coming out in the tunnel ready for kickoff, and I was looking at Gabriel and Mosquera, I'd go, I'm gonna attack this 21-year-old. If I was Haaland in the tunnel and looked at Mosquera and Saliba, I'd probably go, fuck's sake, got my work cut out today. And sometimes even just that little psychological edge can make a little bit of the difference, because he probably will. If Mosquera was to play, Haaland probably would try and bully Mosquera a little bit because he knows he can't.
He wants to try his luck. He wants to try his luck, doesn't he? So he's going to try and play on any advantage he's got.
He'd probably go, right, here we go. I'm in for another evening. I've got the 2 centre backs. So that, from a fan's perspective, if there are genuine knocks or concerns about Saliba, I'll go, well, maybe not. If he's fit, or fit enough to be on the bench and fit enough to be around there, play him, because as the fan has said, I feel more assurances with my 2 boys at the back instead of, the young lad who's been unbelievable, but probably would be susceptible to a little bit of bullying,
Aaron, you make a very good point, because I think sample size is key. I can't remember off the top of my head Haaland having joy against Saliba and Gabriel. Normally one of them have been out. It's like Van Dijk and Konate. We probably have both our clubs probably have the only centre-back partnerships that can actually somewhat nullify Haaland. Even with us, when he scored, one of them would have been out. It's never been when both of them have played off the top of my head. So I think you're spot on. I think when you have that experience against a player, I think he comes straight back in. But Chelsea, you had a very good point. I didn't think of it like that.
Yeah.
Can I ask you this then, lads? Because I got asked this on the Race for Europe show at the start of the week. Are Liverpool currently lucky, and will their luck, quote unquote, run out at some point? I'll have the Liverpool lads first, and then I'll get you guys' thoughts before we wrap up the show. Is this Liverpool team lucky at the minute, or are Liverpool just doing what champions do?
You want to go first, Jay?
Can it be luck when you've dominated the majority of the games? If we were going behind and referees were helping us and it was all like, oh, how did they get that and all that kind of stuff, then I'll be like, oh, do you know what? This don't look good, man. What the hell is going on here? But we've taken the lead in every single game. I think complacency is the only reason why teams came back into the games. jammy goals and like, you know what I mean, little individual mistakes. Like I mean, come on, man. My man ain't never hitting a volley like that where it skips up off McAllister and does a whole, you know, them things there just, you can't even really, you know what I mean? It's like, well, even I think McAllister should have just took the ball in the chest or the face, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, again, and I don't like this. I don't want this to be the continuation where it's like, oh shit, you know what I mean? We're doing this all the time, but we've been pretty dominant in most of the games, and then the dominance ends up, the pressure ends up, you know what I mean? So other than the Burnley game where it was a penalty, which was a mistake, which you could say a bit of luck, shouldn't have put his arm out, what's he doing? But other than that, I don't think it's luck. So we'll see. And winning while you're not playing well and while you're not clicking is the most important thing. If we'd have dropped like 6 points in this time because there've been a couple draws while we're clicking, we'd all be sitting there saying, what the hell is going on here? Do you know what I mean? So as long as we're winning while we're waiting to click, I'm fine.
I agree with that. And I think the important thing is, even though we're winning, I still think it's important to have conversations of the areas that can be improved.
Yeah.
Because they're the bits that need to be fixed. Even though we're winning, it's all good. I'm not one of them fans that's like, yeah, everything's all rosy over this side. I'm not. Go on.
You know what, El, just to add on to what Drift's saying, I think he's spot on. Like, I don't think it can be lucky if it's consistent. It might not be the way you want it to be consistent, but I mean, 5 winners after the 80th minute, there is an air of consistency to it. And off the back of what Drift said,
it's playing to the 90th, it's playing to the final
exactly.
whistle, bro.
And I almost think, as much as you could say we're getting a bit complacent and teams are getting back into the game, it's like our squad knows, but we can still win this. There's a positive in that negative per se, if you want to say that. Because if you go through all 5 games, right, the Bournemouth come back 2-2. We then score not one. People act like it's a 3-2 game where we just edged it. We then scored another one. So again, I know not everything's what it seems, but the scoreline then looks some comfortable. You then see the game after the Newcastle game. Yes, they had 10 men, but if you look at the build up to Rio's goal, there was about 12 to 15 passes. That it was still a good goal.
Every outfield player got a touch.
Got a touch, exactly. Then
is it sustainable though?
That's the question.
I'll get on to that point, right? Because then the Arsenal games are one the free kick. It's all right, bro. The Arsenal games are one the free kick, because I do believe if that free kick doesn't go in, we could play 3 games in a row and it will still be 0-0. But then the Burnley game, right? This is why I love our manager, because I feel like his subs always counteract what the other team's doing. He brings on Rio and what's his name, Frimpong, and they're the two where the goals basically came from. Rio kept winning corners, and then Frimpong puts in a dangerous cross. Because let's be honest, he could have ran it to the byline and it hits out for a goal kick or whatnot. I think Slot knew what he wanted them to do, and it also would have been an instruction. And then the Atletico Madrid game, look, I don't know about you, Justin, Errol. Even when Llorente scored his deflected volley, I still knew we would win the game. And again, do I want this to keep happening? No, it is exhausting. Heart palpitations for the last 10, 15 minutes.
High blood pressure.
Now, to answer your question, do I think it's sustainable? No, but do you know what? I don't think this would be a problem, because this is one thing I'll say about Man United, and Shells will know this. When United were doing this in the Fergie era, it wasn't 5 games in a row. It was spread out. If this was spread out, I don't think we would be... I don't even want to say concerned, because I don't think a lot of the fan base is concerned, but I don't think it'll be a talking point. Let's say it happened once in September, then once in November, then once in January. It's more spread out. But the fact it's happening so close together, I think that's why it's a talking point at the moment. But is it sustainable? No. What I will say, which is a bit funny though, I do think we win by another late. I know we're probably going to go into predictions, but I do think we win by another late winner at Everton. But would it carry on? Of course not. But I just feel like there's a positive and a negative, because when we get level, I think the team know we can still win this game, and the 5 out of the 5 we have. So it's the way you look at it.
Sorry, just quickly, bro. Before I forget, if you look at the caliber of opposition we've played as well, it's a very difficult start we've had, and we've scored 12 goals.
Bournemouth are sitting in 4th, do you know what I'm saying? Newcastle are a Newcastle difficult team to beat. Arsenal, again, best defence in the league. They've only conceded the 1 goal. Atletico Madrid, you know how difficult they're going to be. I
12 goals. Even
Burnley's defence last season was wicked defence.
I'm just saying, 12 goals in 5 games and only 45 minutes of our star striker playing. I think that's being slept on as well. People aren't thinking about how, we might be letting in these goals.
For how much money as well? Do you get what I'm saying?
But he started the season.
Obviously he's got to do his thing. He has to do his thing, but he's not Isak. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a big difference. So, 12 goals in 5 games, I think that's mad impressive. Personally,
one thing I will say, just quick.
No, go on, Adam.
Just quick. I think just said it. One thing that is worrying for everyone else is that we're winning whilst we're not clicking. When it clicks, what then? Do you know what I mean? Sorry, go on. I just want
exactly.
That's what you were going to say.
That's what I was going to say. The thing is you'd rather it now because you clearly haven't hit top gear yet. Probably nowhere near it. So these are the times now that you do want to get them horrible bastard late victories because, like, I can't think who made the point. If you was to have drew 2 or 3 of them, all of a sudden you're thinking, what's going on here? We've spent loads of dough. We're champions. What's going on? The fact is you've not really played to your best in quite a few of the games, but you've got the points. And that is all that matters. That's all that matters. Your form, Wirtz's form, Isak's goals, they're all a matter of time. The fact is whilst you played bad, frustratingly for me, you picked up them sweet points. That's all that matters. That wins leagues, mate. That wins.
Do you know what it is as well? Yeah, it's like we can say it's getting apart to a point where it's not luck no more. Do you know what I'm saying? If you see something for a sustained period of time, it's not luck, and it's more. The fact is the mentality that you man have. Do you get it? You know, regardless of the time, the result of the game at the current time, you're gonna score a goal. And it reminds me, it pains me to say it. Under Ferguson, I knew he was scoring. I knew he was scoring, bro.
Yeah.
Liverpool, if you're a betting man, you know they're scoring. You know they're scoring. It's even in opposition. For the opposition, the mentality shifts.
They know.
They know they have to go back. Sorry, Errol, you go, my bro.
No, it's true. And it gets to that point where 90 minutes to defend resolutely. Don't forget, none of these teams have really come to play us yet. Even Arsenal, I think they kind of was a little bit more reserved in terms of how they wanted to set up. But no teams really said, right, we're going to go toe to toe with Liverpool, and we're going to go and see if we can outpunch them or we can outscore them in any particular way. They haven't done that yet. No one's been brave enough to really take that challenge. I think Newcastle was probably the team that stuck it on us the most. I think Semenyo had a great game for Bournemouth, so I won't take anything away from him. But the one thing that I said, and I've said it a few times this week, if Liverpool were in a final tomorrow, I know we're going to win.
Yes.
I don't know how. Yes. I don't know if it's going to be a great performance. I don't know if we're going to score loads of goals, but I know we are going to pick up the silverware come that end of that final whistle because those players will just not stop until they find a way.
Rums, what did you say earlier in the show, bro? Sorry to interrupt you. What did you say? You said about Salah. You said about Van Dijk. You said about Alisson. Do you see what I'm saying? These man are winners. Wirtz, you going back to him. He even won the Bundesliga.
Frimpong,
yeah. There you go. You man have inherited a squad full of winners, and that's what Arsenal don't have at the moment, and that's why you have that faith going in because you got these, you got security guards, you got reliable man, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? You know what shows?
It's not even just this season because it's kind of been the last 2 years. Because I remember even in Klopp's last year, 2 last-minute winners by Nunes at St. James Park. The last-minute header at Nottingham Forest.
Forest. That was that season.
That was that season.
That was Nunes. It was that season, and this season it was Brentford. The last season it was Brentford.
And Carvalho had one against Brentford. We've been Newcastle. Doing this. Exactly. We've been doing this, but just not. It hasn't been 5 games in a row. It's mad. I'm not going to lie. It's not even like we've had an anomaly where we've won.
And they've all been different scores. All been different scores as well.
Not going to lie. It's pissed me off. Yeah. I'm looking at the clock. I'm thinking, come on, man. A couple more minutes. You bastard.
You know what the mentality thing is as well, which is what I do love about our recruitment. We heavily look into family life, personality, all of that stuff. Yeah. And I don't think that can be slept on as well. Because look how many captains we've got in our squad. And I'm talking about even for their national team. We've got
Sabozlai's up there. You've got Robertson's in
Connor Bradley.
Connor Bradley gets it for when he's on international duties.
Kanate's been French captain. Endo is
captain before.
Japanese
captain. You know, Bates might even be German captain at some point.
Scotland captain.
Salah, Egypt.
Salah's Egypt captain. Like we've got a back. McAllister has been captain for Argentina before. We've got a bag of captains, which brings mentality. Do you get what I mean? Like that's what it brings. If you're a captain, you're a leader. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to wait for other people. You can take initiative, and we've got players who can take initiative all over the field, and that's what I love about our squad. You know what I mean? So ratings to the recruitment on the mentality part as well.
You know what, Errol, just quickly. I want to respond to something that Errol said a couple of minutes ago. You said that if you was in a final, you'd think you'd win it. It's not rocket science as to why you feel like that. You feel like that because you've already won. Yeah. That's why you feel like that. You're champions of England, and you've watched your team grow.
We've done it in a 38-game season, so we've seen that. So yeah,
you've done it. That's why you feel like that. For me, everyone says, "Oh, Arsenal must this area, this and all of that." I don't feel like that because we haven't. You know, I've got nothing to lean back on and go, well, this is why I feel like that.
Especially with this team, because the team he's built didn't win that FA Cup. He's got rid of absolutely every player to a man that won that FA Cup. So this team hasn't got that winning experience in the same way and know what it's like to win as a team. And I just go on.
Yeah, if I'm in a final, regardless of what the final is up. If you go, oh yeah, Arsenal in the final, I'm thinking, oh, are we playing? Is there a player injured? I'm thinking, how can we get around maybe winning? You're probably up, couldn't really give a toss who we're playing. Let's play them. And that's the difference. I'm like, how can we get the edge via outside forces? Because I don't believe my team, we're good enough to, maybe win on the day, but I'm not confident. I wouldn't put my chest out and go, we're going to win no matter who you roll out. And that's where I want to be. And that's where I feel after 6 years and £1 billion spent,
you should be there.
That's where I feel like we should be there. I should be going, we got Man City at the weekend. Sweet. And actually, but I don't know if you're going to do predictions or whatever.
Yeah. We'll touch on them now before we wrap up.
Just quickly, can I ask Aaron a question? Because I've been thinking while we've been having this conversation. Do you think the board might be slightly worried about getting rid of Arteta because they've made such an Arteta-specific squad now with a big amount of money spent? Who would be the manager that would be willing to go like maybe 2 or 3 transfer windows and not have to bring anyone in who he wants of his own and just deal with the squad he's got? Because all real managers are like, I want my players. I want the player who, like, do you think they're a little worried about that? That there's not going to be a manager that'll just sit down for a few windows and go, yeah, I won't spend any money. I'll just deal with a squad specifically built to defend for Arteta.
Do you know what? It's a good question. And I actually think prior to this summer window, I'll go, do you know what? Maybe that would be a bit of a problem because of the lack of attacking investment. But because we've invested in said players, I actually want the manager out so we can get someone else in to deal with this squad. Because now you've got the Gyökeres up top. Mikel Arteta, I'm sorry, and I'll say this, he ain't going to get the best out of him for the system that he plays. He don't get the service. That's why I'm not one of these people that are slagging Gyökeres off, because he's just not getting the ball. And if you ask him to come deeper, then he's out of the box. We've got players that do that already. We need a system built around a finisher that can score goals, and he can, and he's not getting the best out of it. So I actually think a better manager or a different manager would now, with this current squad, would get the best out of this. I don't think, look, I'm not going to sit there and say we've got a complete or a perfect squad. Of course we need additions. I'd love a left winger, a proper left winger to come in, because that's a big position for us. Maybe a sturdy left back. But it's not like we need another overhaul. Now we've got this squad. We just need a manager that knows how to deal with it. You know what I mean? And this manager that we've got has proven time and time again that when he makes managerial decisions, £15 million a year, most of them he gets wrong. And that's worrying. And then people will go, oh, he's inexperienced. He's the second longest serving manager in the Premier League. He's got experience. He's been a Premier League manager at Arsenal.
No, Aaron, him and Slot have been a manager for the exact same time.
Yeah.
That's why that excuse can't run anymore, because Slot's won the league twice in 5 years and Arteta hasn't.
Yeah,
they've been
it's
a
never
manager.
ran to me. Yeah.
They're the same age. I think Arteta and Slot are both 47, I think, or 40. Like, they're both the same age. So it's like, yeah, I hear you. It's not really an excuse anymore.
Yeah, that's it. A new manager, I reckon, would change this up. And do you know what it would do for me as well, personally? It'd give me a little bit of something else to believe in, because I never believed in this manager from the start. And, I looked at this and I'm like, oh, I've got to go to Arsenal this weekend. I shouldn't be feeling like that. I paid 1,500 quid for my season ticket. I want something else to believe in now. I don't believe in this manager. I never have. If we had someone else come in, I'm going, right, what can he do with this? I'm prepared to give him a little bit of time. Do you know what I mean? And go, yeah, get your methods in, do your thing or whatever. I'm going to Arsenal thinking, right, what we're going to see this weekend. I know what I'm going to see at Arsenal. And that's the worrying thing. Manchester City is probably going to play KG, park the bus. We've seen it for 5.5 years. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to be a rocket science to know what he's going to do. He's going to play defensively and hope he gets them on a free kick or a set piece corner. You know what I mean? It's so predictable. It's boring, if I'm being honest with you. So
is he going to play Moreno in midfield? He is, ain't he?
Of course he is. Of course he is. Of course he is. Yeah. And that's devastating. That's devastating. When I see that lineup be you boys, I was like, do you know what?
Well, that was what I was going to ask it. Against
what?
City, does he do that setup? Does he go for that midfield again, do you think? Yeah.
And it's at home, bro.
At home, I was going to say at home, really?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. But if you do that lineup at home and you get a win, what then?
Well, then you got to say fair play to the geezer. You've got to say fair. You can't go, oh yeah, but this and all that. You go fair play, but you know it depends sort of what win. If he smashes him to bits and goes to that, you go fair dues. If he stinks the place out and you get that, and I think it's what we've seen for 5 years. You know, we smashed Man City apart last year 5-1, albeit the pressure was pretty much off. The year before it was a stinky deflection. The year before it was a 0-0, a 2-1 loss, a 2-1 loss. It's you've got to. Thierry Henry said it this week, or maybe at the end of last week. There has to come a point where you have your squad. You believe you're going to win the title. When you go to these big games, home or away, Liverpool, Manchester City would be them teams this year, and go, we're going to go up and set up to win and not set up to not lose. And Mikel Arteta still hasn't grasped that. He still hasn't grasped that he's now got the squad and the time and everything else. Go and do it. Go and set up to attack. We didn't with you. We shit the bed again. You know.
Do you know? I know you want to wrap up, Errol, but this is my last point on Arteta, and it could open another can of worms. But I know hindsight's a beautiful thing, and I know he brought you from eighth, whatever, and to challenge and whatnot. But
he
I
got
just
eighth,
yeah, eighth, and then obviously brought you up the table. I just think, Aaron, I've watched you enough, and I think you would agree. Like, I just think when it's all said and done, he just shouldn't have never got the job in the first place. I think sentiment kicked him because he's a novice. I feel like your Arsenal Football Club, he should have had maybe some tune-up jobs, then got Arsenal. But I think because he was captain and won the FA Cup and whatnot, I think sentiment kicked in. When he first got appointed as your manager, I know you were in a mad time at the time, but I just still thought, I don't know if this is the guy to bring you forward. And I know he won the FA Cup and that brought him time. But you're kind of seeing it now. If he wins the league after sharp, I've got egg on my face because I always
shut up for this season only though. Because do you know what I always get? I'm like, oh yeah, but if he wins the league this year, will you come out and apologise? Will you do this? I'll go, yeah, for the 25-26 season, I'll hold my hands up. But they want apologies for the whole lot of failures. Bro, since we won the FA Cup, we've entered 19 competitions, excluding this year, and we've failed in 19 consecutive seasons. So 19 consecutive competitions. So you think if he wins a league here, that makes everything all okay for 6 years? It doesn't. It goes brilliant. You had a wicked year this year. Excellent. Do it again next year.
Sorry to interrupt you, but you haven't won the Premier League since when?
2004.
So if he wins the Prem, then it for me it does do a lot. It does do a lot. I know you just mentioned the 19. I'm not an Arsenal fan, so you know more about your club, yeah.
And it's even worse if he wins the Champions League for them, you know, Chels.
This is what I'm saying.
You have to build him a statue at that point.
You can't downplay what. Yes, he may have not.
No. I like you up until that point, Rob. I thought he's a fucking geezer underneath. I like him. Spoiled it on 1 minute 12.
Let's get some score predictions in the mix then. Aaron, I think you've already said you think he's going to go with that midfield again. What do you think the score will be? You guys versus City. Is it Saturday night? Is it an evening game? Saturday evening?
4:30. Yeah.
4:30.
So you know, even prior to I said, I think we'll play a little bit cagey, but I think we'll have a little bit more than them. So you probably wouldn't be too surprised. I'm actually going to go for a little cheeky 2-1 win. I think we'll nick it. I don't think we'll blow them apart, but I reckon we'll be a little bit better than them.
Anybody going for a City win?
No.
Nah.
Yeah.
No. You can't.
I don't even want to be here. I don't think City are great. If I'm honest with you. Like, I know they beat Man United and they beat Napoli, but up until the red card, I feel that would have been a much even game.
Yeah.
I'm not high on Man City. I feel like you can get at them at the back.
Yeah.
Midfield still doesn't look settled either.
Yeah, midfield don't look settled. I just thought that there's gapes, there's so many gaps, and there's holes in that team. And Pep doesn't look like Pep no more. Do you know what I'm saying?
He don't want to be here.
So I'm saying this is the first time I've seen the brother stressed. Do you get it?
He did them a favor. I reckon they begged him like, "Yo, we ain't got no replacement ready. We don't know what we're gonna do. Please hang around."
United took Amorim off us. Do you get me? Like, we've got nothing.
Yeah, like,
we've got to stay.
You know what I mean? I think the only thing that Man City fans can hold on to, the only thing they can hold on to, is that Foden's actually coming into form. and Haaland is banging form.
Yeah.
Those two as a combination, they're pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. When Foden is ticking, him and Haaland link up really well. So that's the only thing City can hold on to that might get them something in the game.
I agree with Haaland, but you see the Foden thing. He naturally does his thing against Man United anyway. His family's United, bro. He has something. You get it? Like, he always pops United. I'm not hearing it. Against Napoli, he played against 10 men. You are not getting that same space at Emirates. Until I see it, then I'll say,
I hear it.
I just don't think. I think Arsenal will be too strong, and I think the way Arteta approaches the game, it'll be cagey, but they'll end up winning 2-1. They may get a set piece through Gabriel. Do you know what I'm saying? That's their thing. And I think they'll ultimately cagey game, but yeah, I'm going with you, Aaron. I think it's going to be 2-1, bro.
Yeah. I'm not going to give City a goal. I'm going 2-0 Arsenal.
I'm with Drift.
Final thoughts on Liverpool's derby tomorrow with the early kickoff, 12:30.
Right.
Liverpool win. Go on.
Errol, Drift. I know it's going to be more heartbreak for you, but Errol, Drift, more heart palpitations, another stressful game. Yes. But I'm going 2-1. But you know what I don't like?
Yeah, sorry, Rom. You know what I don't like? I know I'm being petty. I don't care if I'm being petty, yeah? And I'm doing the whole conspiracy theory. Why every time that the Merseyside derbies at Anfield do these pussies put the game at 12:30 so the crowd can't be completely up for it? Because they know how important the crowd is in the Merseyside derby. Every year now, when we're at Goodison, nighttime game. Every time it's
at Anfield, the bounce, it's raucous, bro.
Yeah. Different energy. I don't care if it's a conspiracy theory. They're taking liberties. I don't know why they keep doing this, yeah? But it's getting on my nerves. But hopefully we get the win in it. Hopefully, man.
What I would say about this Everton team, though, and I've actually the couple of their games that were on TV, the one at their first, the first one they played in a new ground, there was another one I watched. I've watched 2 out of their 4 games. This ain't the typical low block. I think maybe Moyes might revert to it in game, but Ndiaye, Grealish, which I said would ball out once he's freed. I'm not going to say shackles of Pep because players have flourished, but you get the gist. You get the gist. He wasn't able to, didn't have the license to do what he wants. But Grealish, Dewsbury Hall, who I've always rated, even before he went Chelsea, I said, you know what, could fill the English quota. I wanted him kind of at our club, Tristan and Errol, and then Ndiaye, which I think them 3 in the midfield, they get the ball down and play. We're accustomed to long balls and maybe a ball into Beto or whatnot. I think if they get the ball down and play, it could be tricky for us, but I just back us at Anfield against anyone in world football, and I still think we'll get the job done. But this is going to be a tricky game. I think any Liverpool fan that thinks we're going to blow them, we never normally do anyway, but any Liverpool fan that thinks we're going to blow them away, I think you're in for a shock. I even think, how about this drift, you know, where we spoke about earlier that we've not gone behind yet? I think this is the game we go behind and we come back and show resiliency, show our mentality, and then we end up winning the game 2-1. Okay. It'll be a tough game.
If it was away, how would you feel if it was away?
Nerdy. I don't know what to make of Everton away in their new ground. It's an unknown entity for me. It's straight. We might.
You know what, Aaron? Yeah. Do you know what would be weird about if it was away? I'd feel like split down the middle. I wouldn't like the fact that it would be at their ground for the advantage, but I'd almost be thinking if they attack us a little bit, they're going to leave space for Florian, which is a bad idea. Because that's the only thing Florian hasn't had all season yet, is a team who is a little more expansive that gives him more space. You know what I mean? So if Everton try and play attacking, because they might go dribbling as well.
Oh yeah, dribbling's there.
Do you know what I'm saying? They might. So if they go a little bit more attacking, it could leave space. I don't know how this game's gonna go. I really don't.
I forgot they signed him, you know. And they got that other Alcaraz brother that's quite good in the midfield. He's quite elusive as well. Is his name Alcaraz? Maybe it is Alcaraz. Yeah. He's quite good as well, so
they're doing well, you know. Everton are 6th in the table. They're doing well.
They're holding it down. Moyes off to a very good start this season. It really is. Jack Grealish in there as well as the kind of the gem for them that's making it work.
Moyes ain't won at Anfield though.
No, he's got a shock.
It's not happening, man. It's not happening.
I don't like that though, G. That's the first time for everything. I hate it.
I can't lie. You man at Anfield, it's literally you man are inevitable, bro. It's sad to see, innit?
But that was the title, bro. That was the title of the show for a reason. Is it the inevitable season? And I think on that note, lads, I will give you all obviously the floor. plug your channels, let people know where they can find your content. Thank you very much for joining. Big up everybody in the comments as well for getting engaged and joining us tonight. Hope you all have a good weekend, whatever you are. Stay safe, stay blessed. Shells, let people know what you've got going on this weekend, bro.
Yeah, big up, man. Match day shows. I'll be doing a match reaction to the Chelsea game and also following my other channel, Motion with Sports, with my guy Hans. We're going to be covering the whole Premier League this weekend, so it's going to be a busy weekend. United are down in the dumps, but I'm going to try to be here and give you much content as I can. And also, I've got some real life content coming. You're going to see shows on the pitch. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man.
Okay, you kick ball as well.
Yeah,
big
man.
Up, big up. What position? What position?
You can bring it. You can bring it. You can come through.
You look like a centre mid. You look like a centre mid.
Correct.
I knew it. I can tell.
Yeah. I love that. Aaron, let people know what you got up to this weekend.
Yeah, big up, man. I'm Aaron Talks Arsenal. I'm doing a little cheeky call in later, so anyone's more than welcome. And
get involved.
I'm gonna have a little chill out this weekend. My missus has just gone away. She's gone away for the weekend with her sister, so I've got the house to myself. So I'm gonna get load of mates round, get absolutely steaming tomorrow night, and struggle to make it to the Emirates for the Arsenal Man City game. So yeah, big up, man, and thank you as well, Errol, for having me on. And big up,
man, it's always a pleasure.
Big up to the quality panel, man. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I love the insights that you bring to the show. So thank you very much for taking the time, man. Like Drift, let people know what go on this weekend, brother.
Yeah, just quickly, I see John put the Anfield game was at 8 p.m. Brother, that was because it was rescheduled and put in the middle of the week. That was They tried the game that got cancelled was 12 p.m. bro. Trust me. But yeah, just find me on Copish or Drifted TV, people. You know where it is. Obviously we've got the big game tomorrow. We'll be covering match reaction as well. And yeah, hopefully we get the 3 points, because there ain't nothing worse than playing at 12 o'clock and messing up and then having to have a whole weekend. When you win, you apply pressure. Don't get it twisted. Man City and Arsenal will feel way more pressure in that game if Liverpool get the dub. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
we need hopefully. massive point. We need to get the win tomorrow. Absolutely.
Yeah, we do. And
finally, Roms, man, thank you very much. I've been really looking forward to getting you back on the show. Let people know what you got going on content wise and where people can find your content.
Come on, man. Drift, Errol, pleasure as always. Listen, Shells, Aaron, first time stream, you two legends. It was lovely, wicked stream. Big up the chat as always. And yeah, Confinement Football Verbal, me and a few friends, we've got our podcast going on over there. You'll also find me on Monster's channel, Big Six Bands, helping him out as well. And yeah, never a foul here and there as well. So yeah, big up the panel, big up everyone in the chat. And yeah, wicked show, man. Wicked show. Man.
Thank you. Make sure you do, people that are in the comments, and if you're watching this on playback, make sure you do go tune into the guys' content, because as I say, us guys out here are putting out as much content as possible to keep you guys entertained, keep you at the popcorn ready, and we will be back next week with another Red Cartel after a massive weekend of games in the Premier League. Over and out. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Peace.